Very interesting comment I received about Darrell Brooks and incentive. And this viewer, said he's sentenced to 700 years and half his commissary is going to be taken away. So, like, if Dawn or somebody puts $30, he'll get 15. And he's probably on a lot of psychotics. What's his incentive to work? And I kind of agree, right? But I mean, what else is he going to do? I mean, so I look at him working in a couple of different regards. I mean, yeah, there's the possibility of earning money, but I mean, I don't know. But then there's also boredom. What is he going to do? I guess that's going to be the title of the video. What's Darrell Brooks going to do? I mean, read books. I mean, write letters. I think he's going to need to work, if anything, to keep his sanity, because someone like him, a narcissist, is not going to want to lose his mind. I mean, I don't think anybody wants to lose their mind, right? But like somebody that is as self-absorbed as he is, I don't think is going to want to surrender to insanity. He's got way too many people left to offend. I'm serious. I'm not trying to make a joke. I think that he legitimately enjoys being that guy. Obviously, he's got zero empathy, but we saw a lot more restrained version of him during the restitution hearing. But as a lot of people pointed out, that's probably his attorney that maybe got through to him, unlike his previous attorneys, and said to him, look, if you want any shot at an appeal, I need you to just keep it zipped up. Who knows? Or who knows if he was highly medicated, as some other people have said. But I think that he will want to work, if anything, to have interaction, to stay busy, to not lose his mind, and then maybe to make some money. But I think making money, initially I thought maybe he'd want to make money to get more commissary items, but I think he's going to get money from Dawn and from, maybe doing what Alec Murdoch was doing, like where, other prisoners will get commissary money and then they'll give it to him, or it'd be some sort of black market type thing where he'll figure things out. Like, all he's got is time now, right? So I'm sure he's going to figure out if he could sneak a tablet in, he's going to figure out ways around the system to get more commissary items like summer sausage, ramen noodles, Advil, whatever, coffee. But all that being said, I think he's going to be so bored that he's going to want to work. Not to better himself, not to, help pay off the restitution, but just boredom. I don't think he'll do anything for others, but I think he'd do it for himself. The question is, what will he do? What can he do? Because I've also read a lot of comments from people that say that because he's in administrative segregation or he's in protective custody, or whatever the term is, that he can't work a job. So I don't know, but I definitely look forward to reading your comments. And I'd love to hear what you have to say. I think that he will do it so that he doesn't lose his mind. I don't know if he has a television. I know in the federal facilities you get a black and white television. I don't know if he will have a television or a radio. I don't know if he's an avid reader. A lot of people seem to think that he is because of all his soft sit stuff, but others think that an inmate got him onto that. I don't think his previous attorneys got him onto that. Some people say he was just reading notes. I don't think anybody that has gone to law school and passed the bar and practices law would ever walk into a courtroom with the nonsense he was uttering. So it was either Dawn or a fan or another inmate that turned him onto that. Any lawyer that tries to use that stuff in open court will at first get laughed out of there, then will probably be put in contempt of court, and then will probably face a number of sanctions from his or her bar association, because those arguments are not only legally baseless, but they're ludicrous and absurd. And to waste a court's time on that, and to jeopardize a client's legal interests, first of all, you do that to a client, and let's say that you have a client that's charged with something or that is in civil litigation over something, and you go in with that, that's tantamount to ineffective assistance of counsel, because You're basically raising moot points, legally baseless points. You're compromising your client's legal interests, maybe even their penal interests, in the sense of if they're looking at prison time and all of a sudden they get 30 years, you know what I mean, and they get carted off, because of your nonsense. I mean, these are all things that are completely not only inappropriate, but are completely prohibited. And you will face sanctions, whether that's a reprimand, a suspension, or a downright disbarment, and maybe even a disbarment and criminal charges on top of that. I don't know. So again, there's no way that, yes, he probably read a lot of good questions from previous counsel, but no attorney would ever go into a capital trial and try to use freaking straw men and I give for value and return for value and none of that stuff. So somebody turned them on to that, but I don't think that he spent hours studying that either. So I'm just going back to the whole point that I don't think this is a guy that is necessarily going to be in the prison readers club. So he's going to die of boredom, figuratively speaking. And so I think that boredom is going to be what, prompts him to getting a job, and working. And I don't even think he cares about how much they're going to take out of that, because he's going to get all his money in commissary from Dawn, the grandma, the friend over there that he lived with. And who knows? I mean, there might be book deals, movie deals. People might, and that's the other thing, even in protective custody, he's not the only person in protective custody. I mean, they're going to have to look at everybody in that institution and see who's sending what and if Darrell's ever getting it. This is a guy who I've heard been called stupid and a moron, and maybe he is to a certain extent for having used that nonsense in court, that sovereign citizen nonsense. But on the flip side, though, he still was able to sneak a tablet in. I don't know how he did that. I could see a flip phone, maybe a mini. A tablet is that's a big deal. And he snuck that in there. So, I mean, this is a laptop. A tablet isn't much smaller than that, and he's not a big guy either. He's mostly skin and bones. I mean, if he weighs 120 pounds with wet clothes on, I'd be surprised. So, and these guys, in prison, they make, they can heat things up with a rock, a battery, and some shavings off of a deodorant container. They can, bake. They can make burritos. They can make, things that go boom with powdered milk. They use their bodily fluids as weapons. They have gangs. They have tattoo artists. They have hairstylists. They have pretty much everything. So, I mean, basically, you've got a group of guys in one prison or a group of women in another prison, and all they're doing is they're thinking about ways to make money. They're thinking about ways to create problems. They have intel. That's why I said in another video that it would be very dangerous, not so much for Darrell, but for the inmate, not for the staff member. If he was to seduce a woman or someone else, I don't know, it would be so much more dangerous for that staff member and for the staff in general, the institution, because these prisoners, this is not movie stuff, guys. This is real stuff. They have legit intelligence, and they keep tabs on prison guards. They're very dangerous. And anybody that thinks that they're not, sorry, I had a call come in. Anybody that thinks that they're not has never worked in a prison, has never read up on prison riots or escapes. I don't think this guy would ever escape, but you don't ever want to be at a disadvantage with these guys or women if you work at a women's facility. I've never worked in corrections, but I have many, many friends that have. And, these guys are always scheming. That's the word I was looking for. They're scheming, whether in ways to make money, ways to hurt the guards if they have to. And, this is a guy who said, I will not be disrespected. I mean, it was a big deal to him not to be disrespected. And the prosecutors were laughing. He thought they were laughing at him. Same thing goes for a CO. A CO is laughing about something completely unrelated to Darrell Brooks, but in Darrell Brooks's mind, if he thinks that he's being disrespected, that's going to stew. He's going to sit there and stew. He's not going to have anything to do except for sit there and scheme. How is he going to hurt this guard? Is he going to get with another inmate to raise a frivolous claim against this guard? Is he going to throw something at this guard? Is he going to stick a foot out and trip him? Is he going to, so that's what I'm saying. These guards, like, they don't get anywhere near the accolades that they should get. The poor bailiffs that had to work with this guy, we don't know what happened behind closed doors. We have no idea. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, he's so skinny, he's so short. He's got teeth. He's got nails. He has bodily fluids. He's capable of just about anything. And God forbid he should have so much as a scratch. You saw what he did with the shoulder, how much he whined about the shoulder during interrogation, how much he whined about being possibly COVID positive during the trial. This is a guy that killed 7 people, injured dozens, wreaked havoc on an entire community and a country. And there he is crying because, he's got a runny nose. So that if he tried to bite a guard or spit at a guard or one of those things, and the guard did so much as like touch him, that it'd be all over the news. So in a very real way, it continues on to this day. So anyways, I don't know what this guy's going to do to pass the time, but I wouldn't put it past him to get a job and work. Even if he didn't make much money, I think he'd do it. But on the flip side, though, the point about people when it comes to incentive is definitely very well taken. He has no incentive to work because they're going to take half of it anyways. He's never going to get out. So